Hello, hello, everyone. We are extremely excited for another Love Your Work series. Today, I have the plum pleasing pleasure of introducing you to someone who I not just call, a friend, someone that I just not call a business partner, someone who I have seen change lives across businesses, across individuals for such a long time. So I know that this interview is going to impact you in the same way. I would like to bring up LaTonya Roberts.
Hello, everyone.
So, in this interview, again, I'm going to ask you a few questions, LaTonya. But before we do all of that, could you just tell the good people a little bit about who you are, your company, what you do? Just give us an intro.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. I'm LaTonya Roberts. I am the CEO of Harmony Consulting Group, and we are a global management consulting company that focuses on fractional chief operating officer support and HR consulting. And basically, what we do is partner with small business owners to scale with ease and achieve sustainable growth and operational excellence. And I do this as a fractional COO.
Awesome. Listen, this whole fractional stuff has really been it has made its debut and it really is becoming a trend. Could you tell us a little bit more about the term fractional and what operations really is, especially for the working professionals that might be interested in this career path?
Absolutely. So fractional came about because a lot of business owners they realized that they needed C-level support, but didn't necessarily need them full time. So as a fractional COO, what I would do is I would come in and work with the company, and I'm not a full-time COO, but I would still have a lot of the same responsibilities as a COO, right? Meaning that I am working alongside the CEO and doing their strategic planning, understanding their day-to-day operations, bringing their vision to life, working with the team members, the vendors, et cetera. And I would also have some management responsibility. And that is one of the key differentiators between what a fractional leadership would a leader would come in and do versus a consultant. As a consultant, you typically don't have management responsibilities, but as a fractional C-suite or what have you, you do actually serve as a team member. You're just not working full time.
Awesome explanation. You all see why? Listen, I'm trying to tell you. So, could you share with the people about your background? Like, how did you land here? Like, tell us a little bit about how your career got started and how you got so laser focused into being able to impact so many organizations with your skills and operations.
So I have always been a problem solver. So my parents are military, and my dad always taught us girls to just solve the problem, not solve it for us. And so I ended up in a career in consulting 18 years ago, working at Booz Allen Hamilton, and I actually started doing strategy work and process improvement. And then as I networked, I started getting into more of the HR side and the human capital side of the house. And so I spent a lot of time there, again, taking on more responsibilities with project management and honing that skill in. And a few years back, I actually decided that I wanted to leave big consulting. I was working at Deloitte at the time, and I wanted to just go out and build my own business. That has always been my dream. And I partnered with two amazing women and built out a company from making about $330,000 annually to $1.2 million in a year. And at that point, we decided that we needed a COO. And I said, well, I've been serving in that role and we can't give that to anyone else. And so I created a role for me, and it allowed me to leverage my gifts in strategic planning and process improvement and structure, project management, et cetera, and still serve as an HR consultant and continue to create $1 million business annually.
Can we just clap it up? If you've ever participated in any of our programs within Career Image Solutions, especially the Career Solutions plans, you know that one of our taglines is creating your own experience. And what LaTonya just shared is exactly that. It may not already be there, right? So that's just a big takeaway for working professionals. If you the organization that you currently work in or your business, right? You've been telling people that you've been doing this or you've only been doing this and you want to pivot and do something else, pitch it. Create your own experience. Just because it doesn't exist today doesn't mean that you can't create it. So I just needed to go ahead and do the honeybee clap for us on that one. That is absolutely phenomenal. And I know that because of the things I know personally, the things that you've done, within that organization is going to produce many, many more results. That's one of the things I like about operations. Operations impacts the entire organization.
Mhm.
It impacts processes, systems, people, it impacts culture, impacts so many different things, budget, finances, all of the things. So, what would you say are maybe like the top three competencies that a working professional might need to hone in on if they
Mhm.
really want to be a subject matter expert in operations?
Sure. You need to be really good at organization,
Mm,
right? As Samantha just said, you are working across the organization. So whereas some people are really siloed in one area, maybe they're doing sales or doing marketing, operations, or their service delivery, as a operations professional, you actually work across. So in my role, I'm going from business development, strategic planning, all the way through the delivery. So the organization part is key. So having a background in project management and process improvement really helped out as well. And then I would also say, looking at it through a lens of how can I make things better? How can I streamline the operations has been really, really important. And then lastly, talent management, right? You can have the structure in place, you can have the systems and the processes in place, but if you really think about it, the people are the ones that have to make it happen, right? So having those skills and leadership development and being able to work with people and just be a human. Right? I always have this people first mentality of, as long as I'm taking care of the people, the work will get done, and
mm.
just being a true servant leader.
Yeah, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. Good stuff. So, folks that are watching this, working professionals that are watching this, and even some of our business leaders that are watching this, they're looking to pivot and they're looking for encouragement because they feel like because they've done the same thing for the last 15 years, 20 years, some of them even 30 years or even 5 years, that it's just too hard to transition. It's too hard to rebrand. It's too hard, all of the things in between. So what would you share as what were some of the things that helped you just kind of get clear in pivoting, right? Big consulting to to working for, kind of like a smaller organization to now, really redefining the services that you're offering. Could you just give us some maybe trends or tips, best practices, or a personal story
Mhm.
that you encountered that helped you pivot through those different stages?
Sure. So one thing I'm constantly am self-reflecting on what is it that I want to do.
Mm,
And so by that I mean not focus on the role, but the experience that I want to have.
yeah.
Right. I truly believe that your gifts will make room for you. And I remember one of the things that they used to say in undergrad was the jobs that you have today may not be here tomorrow. And the students that are in school today are creating the new jobs, right? So I was never limited by what was out there. And so by focusing on the experience that I wanted to have and constantly pouring into myself in terms of learning a new skill daily. I am one of those, I call it a training junkie. I love, love, love to learn something new. I'm a lifetime learner. So I was constantly improving my skills and then asking myself, do I like what I'm doing? And if I didn't, then I said, well, what do I want to do? And I would go and do that. And I would
Mm,
go and I would seek out people that were doing those things that I thought I was interested in. I would ask them questions, how do you do this? What do you like about it?
mm,
How else can this be used? And I always found a way to kind of take ownership of my own career. I looked at myself as an entrepreneur, so someone who had an entrepreneurial mindset, but working in a business. Right? I don't
mm,
think that everyone should be an entrepreneur. It is tough out there, but I do think that you are responsible for your own brand.
mm,
Right. So figuring out what it is that you want to do and then creating space to make that happen and being okay with the fact that the environment that you're in right now may not be the environment that will take you into that space that you want to go
mm,
in.
mm,
So
mhm,
getting rid of some of those limiting beliefs that can hold you back
mm,
and just
mhm,
truly trusting yourself that you have everything that you need to move forward, and but you also have to put in the work. Right. And then I think the last thing that I would do is sometimes when we are in this space of transition and trying to figure out what we do, we don't necessarily recognize our own gifts,
Mm,
but those around us do. And I asked people around me, like originally my main focus was on HR consulting and executive coaching, but I was always doing the COO stuff and I wasn't leaning into that. And so when I asked people around me, that was the thing, operations was the thing that always came up, right? So you may have heard the question, ask people around you, what are three things that they would say about you? Well, operations was the thing that kept coming up. And so I decided to lean in it. And I had a really hard conversation with someone. I would say hard. I had a necessary conversation with someone, and she said, "You're a beast at operations. What is it?" And going back to the question, what's the experience that you want to have? And when I thought about it, operations had everything that I needed to fill my cup. I just needed to change the environment that I was in.
I love it. And you use one of my favorite words, which is love, right? A lot of people, equate love. Again, this is Love Your Work series. And a lot of people equate love with, just a gooey feeling. Oh, I just know when I love. And while that might be a component, I can't tell people what to love, or how they experience love. But I do know that when you love something, action will come as a
Mhm.
result of that, right? So tell us what you love about Operation. Up to three things, but at least one.
Oh, I have several. So, what do I love about operations? I love helping someone bring their vision to life. I love being able to go to a CEO or a leader and say, what is it that you want to create? And helping them flesh that out. I am your how. Like most people who sit with that visionary hat, they are the what, but they don't know how to make it happen. And when I hear someone tell me what their dream is, what their vision is, I'm thinking about 10 or 15 different ways to make that happen. So I love going from concept to reality. And then I also love the fact that I truly get to tap in into my gifts. I get
Mhm.
to not only coach the person through this, whether it's their, I'm not sure if I can do this, to, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, all right, put the foot on the gas and don't let go. And then figure out, okay, what's the process to make it happen? Who are the people involved? How can we automate this and make it better? How can we really take this and truncate that timeline where it could have taken you 2 to 3 years to bring this vision to life if you were doing it on your own? And I'm like, I can make it happen in 6 months. I can make it happen in a year. Right. And to just really see that happen, see somebody walk in not only their purpose, but to live out that dream is truly satisfying for me.
So, so, so awesome. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for this interview today. We're going to make sure that you share in just a moment. If you have anything happening, anything that folks can join, register, and how they can follow you. I know you have the QR codes here. But before we end, I really do want you to maybe leave an encouraging message with someone that might be trying to pivot, right,
Mhm.
from one thing to the next. What encouraging words would you leave them?
Would say do not limit yourself by your past experiences or someone else's limiting beliefs. If you've been given the vision to go out here and do something great, then you already have been provided the provision to make it happen. So trust yourself.
Awesome. Thank you, LaTonya. Thank you so much. Over and over and over again. Could you share with the good people about how they can find you, anything that you have coming up?
Absolutely. So you see the QR codes here. If you do want to book a consult with me, you can tap on that first one. If you want to hear more about my business, you can go ahead and tap on that second one. I have also created the Harmony Ops Collective Facebook group. That again, that's Harmony Ops Collective. So you can find that Facebook /groups // Harmony Ops. And that is a community for people that are what I call owner operators, right? So think of it as small business owners that are wearing multiple hats where they are doing the job as CEO, but they're also doing the operations. And
Mm.
then the other group that is for people that are looking to get into operations. And we provide tools, resources, a community space, collaboration, and networking for people to really streamline their operations, do things faster, do that within a community, and create that sandbox. So you can find me there on Facebook, Harmony Ops Collective.
Awesome. Thank you so much, LaTonya, for your time today. And I know you all were blessed. Please, please, please make sure you reach out to LaTonya, all things operations. She is your girl. Thank you all so much for watching, and continue to love the work that you choose to live. Have a good one, everybody.